All right, so what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is pricing your business, specifically your photography business if you are just starting out. So we're going to go over 3 things that I feel like are the basis of pricing. One of the first things that I like to look at is what is your cost of doing business? And the easiest way for you to look at this, especially if you have a full-time job, is to look at how much do you make at your full-time job. Let's say that you make $10,000 at your full-time job and that you need to make that $10,000 to make a comfortable living wherever you live. Now add about 20%. So you're at $12,000 for the year with $10,000 as your income and 20% for your expenses. Now you take that $12,000 and divide it by the number of sessions you want to be shooting per year, and you have your cost per session. For a lot of people, when it comes to cost of doing business, it is going to include a variety of things like taxes, studio costs, having to pay yourself or if you have employees. But the very basis of it is take whatever you want to be making a year and divide that by how many sessions you want to be shooting. For example, I want to be making $100,000 a year and I only want to shoot 100 sessions, which means per session, I need to be making about $1,000. Going from that, our second tip for today is going to be, how do you price yourself to be profitable? A lot of people, I think of profitable as like a blanket, this is how much I need to be making. But it really depends on a lot of things, like where do you live? What is the cost of living there? And how much do you value what you're doing? Like what is your premium for the services that you're providing? With photography, it's something that's, I think, a little bit harder to price for a lot of people, because a lot of people who get into photography, myself included, it's our passion. And we, for some reason, as creatives, feel guilty for charging people what we need to make a living. But the funny thing is we need to make a living to continue to create what we're doing. There's absolutely no glory or award for being a starving artist. And I don't want any of you out there to be starving artists. That's just silly. That being said, you need to price yourself where you feel like you fall. Let's say I only need to make $50,000 to live, but I want to make 100. That's where your premium comes in. And I always tell people, don't be afraid to price yourself higher. You can always go down. It is a lot harder to build your prices back up once you start low. If you're setting the bar at $100 a session, but really you need to be at $200 a session to make a living wage, you are now going to struggle to bring that $100 up to your $200 mark, versus if you charge $300 and give people a $100 discount for booking with you. The best way to look at this is, what is it going to take for you to get out of bed? If you're working a 9 to 5, so Monday through Friday, you are going to a job and you're working, whether it's 8, 9, or 10-hour days. Now you're coming home and now your weekends are taken up with doing your side gig. Why would you price yourself lower than what you're making at your 9 to 5? It makes no sense to me to price yourself at a lower cost to work your weekends. You need to be pricing yourself higher than what you're making at your day job. So let's say you make $10 an hour. Don't price yourself at $5 an hour to do photography on the weekend. Price yourself at $20 an hour to do photography on the weekend, because now you're given a reason to get out of bed. So look at it in that sense. What is it costing you to work weekends? There's a quote out there, and I can't remember who said it, but I love it, because the quote goes, the price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it. The price of you working a weekend should be significantly higher than what you get during the week. That's tip number 2. Price yourself higher. It's always easier to go down than to go back up. And always consider, what are you giving up for that time? All right, so from there, we'll go into tip number 3, and they're kind of related, I feel like. But there is, and this is pretty controversial, there's no right or wrong way to price yourself. There absolutely isn't. You are worth whatever you think you are. I love quotes, so I'm going to go back to another one. And again, I don't remember where it's from. The idea of the quote is, no matter what wage I asked of life, life always paid that wage. So if you price yourself, let's say you want to be a photographer that photographs weddings and you want to be making $5,000 per wedding. Price yourself there. Let's make sure that you can deliver the product that you are promising. And if you can deliver the product that you are promising, price yourself where you feel comfortable. You want to be a $1,500 wedding photographer? By all means, be a $1,500 wedding photographer. You want to be a $10,000 portrait photographer? Be a $10,000 portrait photographer. The gist of it is, where do you want to be and how much do you want to make? That's really the bottom line. It's just as simple as it gets. There's no magic formula of putting in your experience and your editing style and the equipment you have to figure out what this magic number should be that you're charging. It purely depends on what you value yourself to be at. All right, so those are your 3 tips for today as far as pricing goes. If you guys want to download the free pricing worksheet, it'll be at the link below. It'll include a formula on how to do your cost of business, and in fact, it'll include 2 worksheets, one with a simple formula and one that kind of includes everything that a cost of business would include. Alright guys, that's about it for today for your 3 tips on how to price your photography business. My challenge to you is for you guys to set your prices. And once you have your prices set, I want you to comment below and leave me what your starting session fee is at. And if you like the content that you've seen today and you would like to hear more from me, and once we post videos, go ahead and hit that bell button so you keep being notified when new things are posted. Thanks so much. Have a good one.